Hello everybody, and welcome back once again. My name is Jordan, also known as JMonster, and today we're going to be streaming some more Silmarillion Total War. This is, of course, our test build, and we're going to be playing in a 4 versus 3 scenario. This is going to be pitting the Easterlings and their allies, the Sons of Feanor, against the Might of Morgoth. We've got 4 Angband armies on the field today. The Angband armies have a 14k budget, while the outnumbered defenders, I think, have about 15% more of that, so should be reasonably balanced. That's kind of what I'm hoping. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm just going to tune into my stream for a moment here. Hello chat. I hope you're all doing well today. Hopefully we've got a really good show for you. I'm going to be playing on lower graphic settings, so you are going to be seeing things at potato quality. Bear in mind that this does not reflect what your single player experience will look like, or what our replays are going to look like. This is just for the courtesy of other people you're playing multiplayer with. Obviously you just want to play the game, and you don't have to worry so much about it looking pretty, since you'll be busy anyway. Too busy to notice it, I expect. Yeet! Nice to see you back, Dustin. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, we're just waiting for people to get in. Just waiting on one final player. Take a look at my Easterling army in the meantime, if you guys like. Oh no, actually, I'm playing as a smaller Sons of Feanor army this time around. Yep, so I've just got kind of a minimal amount of troops. We're going to lean a little bit more heavily on our cavalry wing this time around. Got a lot of Thargelion units. They can be pretty good budget picks against the orcs, especially the stalkers of Thargelion. Now, we're still waiting on another player. I can go through this in detail. I've also got the Accursed of Alcolande, one of the legendary companies, which is a new feature that's been added to our testing build. And the idea there is that they are essentially regiments of renown, but implemented in such a way that there is a genuine choice between them and the units that they are a unique version of. So that'll be fun to see. I think it's actually going to be the only legendary company on the field today. Yes, we have the pride of place, I suppose, and then we're able to field this elite regiment. But we can take a look sort of at the differences in the stats between them there. Obviously, they have a little bit extra attack from the attack upgrade. It amounts to about 2. As do these guys, but you can see the basic breakdown of their stats right there. So a little bit less skill. These guys do have a passive missile deflection bonus of 2. So against lower tier skirmishers, that'll do quite well for them. It won't make them immune to arrows, certainly not. Even from lower tier arrows, such as like units at the same tier as the Huntsman of Thargelion, for example. But it will be a nice thing for them to have. They will occasionally block some missile damage, and then they'll otherwise go right to their armor value. So that's nice. I'm just waiting on our last person. They shouldn't be too much longer. Let's see what chat is up to. Unit numbers seem high. That's just, I don't know if you ever played a scenario before. But that's just, it defaults to 300 units. None of these units have 300 in them. They're going to have normal unit sizes, so the Huntsmen of Caligorm here, or the Hunters of Caligorm, they're going to have, I think it's like 50 men in the unit. These guys will have 24. We're not going to have a unit of 300 knights running around. That'd be a little bit nuts. That's just how it is in scenarios and how it has been since basically the beginning of time. So, don't worry about that. Hi, Joseph. How's it going, buddy? take a look at some of the other armies here. This Sons of Feanor army, it's got some cavalry, but it's specifically got Mounted Company of Kurufid, as they are basically a slightly... I mean, there's differences in their stats, but they're like a slightly improved version of the Footmen of Amras with a bit less armor and a lot less men in the unit. And of course, they've got their javelins as well, which can make them really useful. So they're essentially a dragoon. They're just mounted infantry. And while they can't dismount, they can certainly help hold the line. But they're way more infantry heavy. This is where a lot of our numbers are going to come from. And from the Easterlings as well. You're going to see them in the fray today. We have Sons of Ulfang, 2 Salamanderine Guard, some Halberdiers of Lothlan, a bunch of Clan Guard of Lothlan here as well, some Scimitar units. They're actually very, very good. And with the armor, or with the attack upgrade, they go up to 10 damage. So 10 damage and 13 skill is nothing to sneeze at for sure. Wardens, warbands, lots of pillagers, and a couple of marauders as well. And the Angband armies are pretty scary. Although, these are not the comps that I had initially passed on. I don't think so, anyway. No, I think they are. More halberdiers than I had initially put down. I think someone went back and changed them, but that's alright. Well, I guess we're playing the Easterlings today. Hooray. We get our Sons of Feanor army back. That's fine, I was more than willing to play the Easterlings. Yeah, 4 Angband armies, oof indeed. Although, they are limited mostly in that they don't have a ton of halberds. They don't all have the same, like, really badass units. Like, there's some armies that have Troll Guard, others have no Troll Guard, but they'll have, say, 1 Udurloki, and then another one will have Balrogs, but none of them, like, combine all of Angband's strengths. Like, together they're a formidable army. But we'll see. We'll see how this goes. I think the play here is probably going to be, because they lack a lot of cavalry, I tried to give them not too many spears so that the Sons of Feanor army could be used to its full effect. But I don't know if that was retained or not, because I think Secretary did alter the army compositions ever so slightly. Okay, so we're gonna be deployed way back here from the front lines. So it might be difficult for us, given our numbers, to ably defend this whole area here, because there's ways through here. You can pass through the arches in this central plaza, pass through here, and you can pass through here. So we have a small, mostly cavalry army, and very little infantry with which to defend 4 different choke points. So I don't think it's wise for us to stay there. We will... What can we do here? I think it'll be wise for us to fall back to this area, and we'll try and defend that. We're not going to make it easy for the attackers. Put some stakes to kind of get in their way. But everyone else, we're going to take them. These guys have stakes? No, I don't believe they do. Everyone else is going to go over this way. And we'll organize them afterwards. But our Hunters of Caligorm. It is quite fitting that we start on this side, actually, as I had intended this side of the... Oh yeah, I guess I haven't really introduced the map, have I? This is a new map. This is the Pass of Aglon. But this particular area I had intended to be sort of like pasture and like farmland where they could rear horses and grow food and such. Uh-oh. That's never good. There we go. We're just fine. These guys have it a little bit easier. They've only got a couple of choke points that they need to defend. This one's pretty wide. And this one's really, really easy to defend. And I don't think there's any Angband armies that are directly kind of in there. We'll have time. We'll have time because of where the Angband armies are as well, so we'll go ahead and we'll get started. But yeah, this is the Pass of Eglon map. It's a fortress of the Sons of Feanor, which they hold against Morgoth. They lose at one point, I believe during the Battle of Dagor Bragollach, which they later retake with reinforcements from a larger fortress of Himring, which has also been added in the same patch they added this one in. It's an older map, so it may change over time, but I think it does quite accurately represent like Himring. It's on like a big, like hill and stuff, and it's like surrounded by some rocky outcroppings, and I don't know. It may get remade. Got the good old it's not true medieval 2 battle with lag. That is very true. Not only did he wound him, he wounded him 7 times. Fingolfin was a real badass, but also kind of an idiot. I feel like the elves needed their monarch more than ever following the unexpected disaster of the Dagor Bragollach. Fingolfin just yeeted himself onto the friggin' bench in the halls of Mandos by being stupid. So, courage is great and all, but sometimes the elves just do stupid crap like that. Yeah, it's not a terrible map. I think there's a lot to it. Yeah, I got a feeling this one's gonna get a little bit laggy, but you know, it'd be like that. Well, while people are still doing stuff with their deployment, why don't we go and take a look at the evil side of things. And we have put in new vegetation and new textures into the game, so you're probably seeing a lot of that right now if you're curious why these all look different. Now, they look a little bit terrible at the moment because I have everything on potato settings. They look friggin' phenomenal when you turn off the graphics and you turn off the vegetation quality. But out here, there's lots of like scrub terrain. There's like a little military encampment in these hills, like in the direct center, closest to the small main gate. There's a lot going on here. Oh, well, it looks like it's time. Let's see what kind of tools these guys are rocking. So they have lots of stuff here. Now, I don't want to lose my troops. They have a lot of wretches. Now, that's a pain. But they don't have that many wretches. They've got like 1 unit of wretches. I feel like we could be potentially a big pain to that particular army. So we're going to go and kind of try and bully them a little bit. We're going to do our best in any case. Wretches out front here. While that's all happening, we're gonna need to move ourselves in here. So This is going to be the play, I think. I unfortunately don't have any spearmen. Yeah, this guy's clearly having issues with this very large game, but you know, it happens. This will be everything we got. I think the play here is going to be to catch them and bring the Lancers around this way to harry his wing. That's probably the best thing I think that we can do. I'm going to use these guys to screen our Lancers as they are a little bit faster. Be careful there, we got wretches. That's okay. We just got to be able to get around the wretches. That's the big thing. Gonna get our cav into his rear. Where's that second unit? Yeah, he's gonna try to cut us off with Ravagers. Oh, you idiots. Who told you to do this? Nope. Stupid medieval 2 unit pathfinding. Oh, you guys have a job. Might have an opportunity here. Get these guys up there. We're taking disproportionate casualties from what we need. What have they got there? They got arbalists. Yeah, we need to get out of there. Oh.
Defeat seems almost certain.
It's okay. I should get these guys out. That's important. And Vidya not paying the attention that he needs to pay there, I think. Get himself caught out. Well, that's a tempting target, isn't it? Well, you tried, wargs, you tried. We're going to go after the arbalists for sure. We'll bob and weave there, bait and switch. Oh, come on, lag. Ugh, this is why I hate playing with people who don't have good computers. It can really slow down your amount of actions per minute, which is very frustrating.
Pray something changes in the course of battle, for defeat seems almost certain.
these guys aren't going to get their charge off. I don't think. No, you retards. No, they're going to break instead. Oh, it's really hard to make people run because of the input lag, basically. Oh, he didn't even charge. Why? Oh, now they're broken. This is bad news bears for us. Yeah, there's like 30 seconds. Well, not 30 seconds, but there's like a good 2 or 3 seconds between when you issue a command and when they actually try to follow it. Yeah, see, they won't even get out of there now. They're just gonna break. Well, it's YOLO. Try and dodge it. Yeah.
General has been captured. Unless we defeat
no.
our foray, something changes in the course of battle. For defeat seems almost
Yeah, that sucks. I don't know why people join. Like, I understand that people like want to participate in big games, but if you don't have a computer, really, you're just. If you don't have the computer that can handle it, really, this is the kind of thing that happens. It just makes the gameplay experience a little bit more difficult than everybody. But you know, it is what it is, I guess. We did manage to trade reasonably evenly, I guess, in terms of percentage, but yeah, we didn't really accomplish any of our goals, and a lot of that just came down to input lag. I think we're just playing with people that have potato computers, which kind of sucks, but, you know. Well, I guess it's my fault they have so many arbalists. I'm pretty sure that I gave them a lot less arbalists than what I did. Wanted to make this more of an infantry fight, but... Well, at least we know that the gatehouse is working. That's great news. We'll see how this goes. I think we'll be able to hold for a while here. Whereas I'm a little bit worried about that thin line over there, so I think we'll send some of our infantry to help him out. Maybe some Archers of Amrod. I think we'll get probably more value out of them here than we would anywhere else. I'll have to rush over there because the armies of Angband will be there shortly. Shame we never did get a piece of those bulldogs. Maybe we shaved some HP off them, which is possible, but I think if we hit them with cavalry and did damage, they probably would have died to the charge impact. It's okay though. We managed to salvage at least some of our mounted company, and like they're not bad. They're actually pretty good as far as like infantrymen go. But for now, we're just kind of biding our time and trying to keep an eye on things. It says victory is certain for both sides. Who do you want to believe? I don't believe it's going to be victory for the orcs. They are dropping pretty quickly. Whereas those shield bearers have really good melee defense. They'll stand up to that for a long time. Arbalists, yeah, there's way too many arbalists on the field. I think some of the detachments turned into full units of the arbalists, so it's a little bit askew, the balance bar, in that for that reason alone. What do we got out here? Mounted company. Yeah, I don't know where he intends to flee to. This is pretty well it. See how the Easterlings are doing out here. I think with the Halberdiers, though, they will chew up this line. And this is where Angband support is pretty limited. Get up where? What is he talking about? Trying to find their whatchamacallums, crossbows. I don't see too many. I think there's only like 1 or 2 units on our side. Oh yeah. That's a juicy target right there. Halberdiers need to die. Who told you to shoot anything? No, no, no. I wonder if I can get one of them up here. That'd be super helpful, I think. should be obstructed through there. I don't think units can easily get through that. I think it'll be necessary to get some units up here. I can see what they're trying to do. To change the elevation on these things slightly. I do see an opportunity potentially for some cavalry play. Got some reavers there fleeing for their lives. I'm gonna send these lads in, as they are exceptional chaff hunters. And we got coming forward here. These guys are almost out of ammunition. We'll stop them for now. Change their firing arc a little bit. Did he really run through our own stakes? Ugh. That's the epitome of not paying attention right there. That's very unfortunate. Let's see. You guys come back here. There is an opportunity here to go after some of these arbalists. Maybe wipe them out. Draw ourselves back here. These guys might be in a good position. Lay down some supporting fire there. Nvidia's not paying attention.
Defeat seems almost certain.
He's probably gonna run himself over the stakes. I'm calling it right now. I don't want to lose them. I'll take them back here. Take down a few more of those arbalists while we go. Oh, I definitely told you guys to run. That's the input lag at work again there. Lots of fun.
Only half the enemy force remains.
That's alright, reinforcements are on their way. We'll establish a new line. attack the rear of these guys. The cavalry might be more useful over in this direction now. Lydia not paying attention again. Letting his forces here get charged down. Who the hell told you to do that? Go for a charge here. Using our cavalry well, at least. What little remains to us. See if we can't rout some of these iron shod reavers off. That'd be helpful. Oh geez, Rick. Surprise attack here. Who told you to do that? These guys never actually fired off any of their ammo, like I told them to. Get an okay charge off there, maybe.
Only half the enemy force remains.
We're holding over here. I mean, now's a good time to fall back with some of these guys. I bet you the Easterlings are doing just fine. Oh yeah, they are. They've ground down the Angband army to nothing. That's where the last stand's gonna have to come. Well, they did burst through here. Let's see what the difference is. About 10% difference, so it's not the end of the world.
Our ally lies dead. Without their general, they may lose heart and flee.
It's still kind of in the balance over there. Now's a good time. Try and an escape, although I don't know if we can make that before getting cut off. So I think what we might have to do is just be a menace for their rear. Something that they kind of have to fight. Except for you. You go over that way.
Good tidings. The enemy general lies dead.
I think we need to get out here and help the Easterlings because we're going to need them. Oh yeah, the Salamandering Guard will make short work of those Uroloki for sure. Where's my cavalry? Out here doing their job. Let's go finish this off. As plain as them. Attack the rear of those Ravagers. We'll cut down those thralls of Angband. Put an end to this as quickly as possible. We're not just gonna let them kill us. We're gonna draw off their strength. Give our other troops time to do their thing. I think the mistake that Inarius has made here is that he's let those Uroloki be alive for way too long. The Salamandries are fantastic at fighting them, and he just didn't really commit. He was trying to like bounce back and forth. I think maybe he just didn't see my cavalry, which is part of the issue, but what do they got here? Small numbers of troops. Oh, again, that input lag, it doesn't register the extra, like, click when you're trying to get people to... We're going to go after those Arbalists for sure. Wipe them out. Might be able to rout them off here if we kill them quickly. Yeah, he's letting these Uroloki run roughshod over him, which is not good. This guy's not paying attention. We'll take advantage of that for sure. Rout off those arbalists. He's just letting these guys just sit there. That's really unfortunate. Like, why are his salamandrines helping me instead of hunting down the Urloki, which is what needs to be done?
Something changes in the course of battle, but defeat seems almost certain. Our allies have fled the field like cowards.
Yeah, it's not a super close one, unfortunately.
Defeat seems almost certain. Our allies have fled the field like cowards. We've lost half of our men.
Yeah, I feel like he probably changed my comps a little bit and then forgot about it, because I don't remember giving them this much stoof. Oddly enough. I wonder if I could get my cavalry out here. Maybe we could turn this around at least. Oh, damn, my cav. Oh, I just like blindly sent them through here. That was stupid. Stalkers aren't doing too bad. That AP is certainly helping them out. Yeah, I think this is potentially a winning fight. I think I should have used my cavalry more defensively. Charging him out there, while glorious, didn't really accomplish a whole lot, and it ended up like eating up a lot of my budget. And the other big thing was the Salamandrine Guard I don't think were used particularly well. I don't think they prioritized the targets that they needed to prioritize, for sure. And the Udoloki just were able to run roughshod. Like, he didn't stick. Like, he went after them a few times with the Salamandrine Guard, but he didn't stick on them, which is what you need to do. I don't want to let them shoot at me. Let's go for a quick cheeky charge here.
The enemy army flees the field. Pursue and run them down.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go get a rear charge on these guys. Maybe we can win a small victory for the House of Feanor. He's pulling away because of their mass, but the Salamandrines are fast enough to stay on top of them, and the hitbox in the Ururoki is large enough that pulling away won't matter. It won't stop you from being able to deal consistent damage to them. I don't know if we'll be able to hack our way through these guys in time. That being said, it was a valiant defense. There's a lot of dead orcs here. I think we probably did better once they pulled through. We were able to get some like rear charges and stuff off. Oops. Yeah. Oh god, they're still hunting them. Fly, you fools.
Our army is tiring.
These guys need to hurry and carve their way through the wretches here. Maybe we'll be able to turn things around. Do they have bulldogs in there? Did I see bulldogs? I did not.
Our men have slain the enemy general. Without him, his troops will lose their will to fight.
Ooh, that might help us out here. These wretches continue to consistently lose. Some of them are turning around too. Oh, and they're right on the line too, so they're going to be going right off. What time is it?
Behold how our cowardly foe runs. It's time to press the attack.
get here a bit too late. Maybe we should use this hill back here. That's probably the thing to do, eh? Delay a little bit, play for time. I think they're all running anyway. Well, I did kind of tip it back in our favor a little bit. Up to about 70 there, but last stand of my poor elves. We did our best, and that was a significant amount of troops that we carved our way through, to be fair. You guys going through the front gate? Oh, and Arius is having issues. Yeah, Bulldogs are gonna make this not even a contest. Well, throw those stalkers at those routing units at least. Give ourselves a little bit of time to rest, maybe. What we got here? A line of wretches. They're exhausted. They'll probably run the second they get into combat, but that charge bonus off. Why not? It's a lot of macemen. They're gonna bat us aside like it was nothing. Yeah, no one's having fun here. We broke almost immediately. It's to be expected, I feel. Pretty heavily outnumbered. Yeah, we'll just admit defeat there. It was a good fight, a good scrap. I got a feeling the Easterlings are going to come out on top in terms of kills, seeing as they did actually manage to destroy an entire army, whereas we did our best, but yeah, we just weren't able to hold on. Unfortunately, we got a lot of kills though. Goodness gracious me! Great performance from a lot of units as well. Except for, of course, our mounted company of Caligorm. Yeah, they didn't do very well. 70, 130. Recruiting Magloro, still a decent amount of kills. Like, we managed to, like, kill things. We killed a lot of Secretariat's Arbalists, for example, but... Oh, wow. How long does it take to create and tweak a scenario? Well, assuming that you have an existing map, it doesn't take very long at all. That was a tough one. I don't know. I think things might have worked out a little bit differently, especially with like how we used our cavalry. Me in particular, like NVIDIA and I, it was my idea, so I kind of led us down the garden path to doom. But if we'd have had our lancers, like I got a ton of value out of my melee cavalry, like running charges as they like broke through that I guess it would be like western kind of choke point that goes into the center area. If we had cavalry there, like real hard hitting, like big dick cavalry, then we might have been able to keep it, I think, a little bit closer, because they were kind of like trickling in places. So if we had like cavalry that was actually scary and like good on the charge, then I think we could have done a hell of a lot better. But again, that's my fault. That was my call, and yeah, it ended up not working out for us. Sucks. How many times we test out the scenario? A lot of times we do scenarios. What I have found to be the case is that a lot of time we will do scenarios as like a one-off thing. So we'll like play them until we get a result that we're satisfied with, and then we'll usually like pass that on to somebody. So if there's like a YouTuber or something that we want to like get a scenario out to, so that people can like watch it and enjoy it, then that's what we'll do. And then we tend to not touch the scenario again afterwards. It's not like the historical battles. I feel that are things that you can do over and over again. That can certainly be something that we look into a little bit later, like things that aren't necessarily meant for like multiplayer, like showcase battles, which is what our scenarios, and I think scenarios generally tend to be. Send to the Dark Cloud, I'm sure can confirm this, is that a lot of scenarios that they do end up getting sent to people, and they're done specifically for that reason. But as we get a little bit later into development and things in terms of like single player start to take shape, I can certainly see scenarios being made that get tested very heavily and are kind of like, they're there if you want a single player challenge, basically. I could see that being the case, but for the time being, mostly they're showcases, and we do them till we're satisfied, send on the replay, then we move on to the next thing. But yeah, we could give everybody full stacks, but I also wanted to try and keep things on a budget. And I think that the army I had could have been used way better and been way stronger, especially in that late game as like things are starting to get tired. Angband in particular isn't great with morale shocks, so like using that cavalry better might have altered the way that things ended up playing out. So I think that really comes down to it being my bad. I made some questionable calls there. And the other thing, the Easterling army, I think if they were able to deal with the Uruloki more effectively, they would have been able to preserve a ton of numbers, because like going into that final push by Angband, the Uruloki managed to get off some devastating volleys, which cost the lives of like 60, 70 upwards guys, and that would have been really useful to have. And then afterwards, we didn't really have a plan. We ended up trying to like rush them as they were like moving in, and like in like that big column, and like trying to come through the final choke point, which was a good idea. We just weren't able to do it in a coordinative way. So, did I say coordinative? I'd say coordinated way. But yeah, I think Secretariat's going to go over it. Yeah, thank you very much. It is a really cool map, but I think there's a lot there. It's probably better for 4v4s, but I do kind of like the choices that have to get made. And obviously we made some questionable choices trying to defend that with when we were heavily outnumbered, but I think that if we'd have played that a little bit differently, then it would have been a much closer game, and potentially even a win for us. Like, we might have, at least with my army, I might have been able to kind of like fall back a little bit, try and like break up their advance, and then take advantage of the chaos, which might have been able to kind of swing things around, because we did manage to get some like early breaking on a few different units and like some good rear charges, but we just didn't have the numbers and like the really powerful cavalry units, because we'd thrown them away early to really like capitalize on Angband's biggest weakness, that being to morale shocks. So but I think that's gonna do for me for today. It's only been about an hour or so, but it'd be like that sometimes. It's a beautiful day out. I want to go and enjoy it before I have to go back to work next week. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this so far. Sorry it wasn't a little bit closer for you, but we certainly did our best. But in any case, my name is Jordan, also known as JMonster. I hope you're excited about Silmarillion Total War, and I hope you'll join us on some of our future streams and in our lobbies as we get a little bit closer to release and more people are able to kind of play and enjoy the mod.